Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center. And thank you for joining me up here on our elevated platform of living, where your music and the world of magic and miracles live. It's the place where your perspective of everything is at a much higher vibration. Welcome to your world of magic and miracles. I call out to everyone as family at this holiday time, our family. By now, you must realize the importance of your presence as the charter members of this emerging industry of magic and miracles. And as charter members, with firsthand information, we cannot help but be the bearer of good news and good times that are coming via Swisindo and so much more. Our advanced intelligence is opening our vision. And it's opening our vision, and it's my joy to share with you what Robert wrote this week. On the 17th, as a matter of fact, on Monday. This is the time for continuous flow to enter your life through many different channels. The process of writing will assist in the organization of the various frequencies and the development of complex channels to protect the vitality of everything that enters the physical world. There are many different aspects to what you can expect in the immediate future, one of which is the lack of familiarity that will come with each new channel. This is to make sure that everything is new and without the overlay of anything that you have known in the past. To achieve the ultimate transfer of matter into the physical world, we will be using the combination of various frequencies and the interaction of many human entities to bring together an overall shift in the developing fields of creativity, in the universal fields of the world. The interest of many will become the tool by which matter will form in a new way and bring life to the flow that is needed to support all humanity and the elements that are vital for the earth. Together we will produce that flow, but each of us will have no idea of our effect until the final outcome appears in our physical existence. This is the mystery of the moment, but it will only last for a short time because the future is generated as part of the flow, and all that you feel now will come to pass in the blink of an eye without any reference to time and no dependence on circumstance. We are merging into a single entity without separation, all individual and without physical contact, but connected in a way that is unknown even to the most advanced beings in the universe. Our individual influence in the overall entity is total and does not have any concern for other influences. Each influence is independent of each other, but is total as far as the entity is concerned. Logic does not have a place in the working of the overall entity, and science has no place in its expanded state. Each one of us can use the power of the entity at any time we desire. There are no rules and no restrictions. be they positive or negative. As the realization of the flow comes to our being, there is a reaction from all that has been controlled by rules and logic. This includes the most unusual effects on our body. The part of each person that works perfectly under a fixed control system or belief may suddenly go into turmoil because the connection to its fixed patterns have become dislodged by the new and unfamiliar flow. There is nothing to do but allow the adjustment and feel yourself grow in capability in areas that have previously not registered in your awareness. This is a special time where the unknown will exist as a special friend to everyone, and the excitement will grow as it reveals new things to each and every person in the universe. The development of technologies will continue to impress everyone, but the development beyond technology in areas of art and unknown capabilities will grow out of all proportion to bring joy and amazement into every aspect of life. And it is a joy to share that with you right now. I'm sure all over the globe last night, people, or yesterday, were wrapping presents, preparing for this wonderful holiday that people wait all year for. And Hanukkah's past, Christmas is coming, Kwanzaa. Everybody is in a happy state of mind and heart. And that's why the invitation read, "The Advancement Center is bringing joy to the world." Well, while you might have been wrapping, I was unwrapping. I was having a picnic because I live in a treasure trove of wonderful information and so much excitement, and everything that's going on is all growthful. So whatever we say, just know you're in the flow and it's getting better. So here we go. As promised, here is the weekly update from UN Swisindo, a clear route out of the debt slavery system. And I know that many of you are very, very eager to know the situation with Honorable Bapak, or we've been knowing him as M1, who has been detained with no reason since August. So my Saturday night call to VD, I said, okay, what do we have to share about with Swisindo? And she said, I don't know any news. So I text Susan Terry, who's the Secretary General of the ministry that I'm a part of, and it was 11 o'clock her time, and I said, if you're still up, what's happening? And this is what she wrote to me. There has been a lot going on, and the court case hearings are complete. There is nothing that can be announced just yet, as some new incidences of false claims arose yesterday, announced in the media by some police officer who claimed that the 7 IDA, which stands for International Development Agency, visitors from Ecuador, Laos, and Australia were there illegally without proper visas and were being deported. They were detained at the police station, so did not show in court. And then she added, someone is trying very, very hard to block the completion of this case. Now, every week since July, I've been telling you news about Swisindo. And most of you know this information backwards and forwards and have been telling the good news to your friends and family. But there are many who are joining us for the first time today, and welcome. I recommend checking out two websites, swisindo.news, where you'll download your M1 voucher, and that looks just like this. Whoops. Oh, wait, I'll hold it over here. Yeah, that's an M1 voucher, and I'll explain to you what this means to you, and you'll be very happy. But you take a passport picture and you paste it right there, and in the lower right-hand corner, you put your thumbprint. Do not sign it. Do not put your Social Security. Just put your thumbprint there and hold on to it. And I will be letting you know when you can take it to the bank. And that's not in quotes. So I'll tell you what that stands for. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, you're going to come across this certificate, which is the Debt Burden Liberation Certificate. DBLC, right. And this is what's going to help so many people, because so many of us have incurred debts. And if they happened before 2016, they are not your debts. The powers that be have been trading on your identity since birth, and they've made a lot of money. So your debt's paid. And every time you went to the bank and you paid it back with interest, that debt is to be returned to you. And I mean a mortgage that you incurred before 2016. How about your college debt? How about your children's college? Everything. It gets very, very exciting. So, Honorable Bapak, the one who was in jail, he is the single trustee and holder of the global assets and collateral accounts of the world. He is engaged in this mission to return to humanity what was stolen from us: freedom, prosperity, and equality for all nations and people of the planet through payments 1 through 11. And I will describe what those are. This is a program for every man, woman, and child in 357 countries worldwide. Now, what are those payments 1 through 11? Well, every person, this is with your voucher, every person from the age of 17 and with a legal identity, and students earn a monthly basic income of, I just got myself inside. No, let's start again. Every adult will get $1,200 a month for life, up to $6 million. Every student age child up to the age of 17 will get $600 per month until they are adults, and then they will get the $1,200 a month. Now, that has to happen because he wants to free the 1.5 billion people on the planet at this time. Now, with BAPOC being detained, a lot of people are very worried and concerned. And Robert has answered this back in August. And he said, "It is possible to change the direction of life with a few words at the right time. And it is possible to stop all progress with the same words at the wrong time. This is something that is unique in the physical world and totally out of tune with the flow of the universe. The ability to generate purpose and excitement in life has been offset by the ability to oppose and cause disruption whenever suitable. To surpass this seemingly impossible situation is the desire of the majority, but the environment in which we operate continues to educate each one of us in the art of agreement and opposition in all walks of life." There is, however, a solution to everything in the world of your Creator, and it is this solid fact that allows us to say the world has changed and it will soon be obvious to everyone. The desire of the majority has been heard, and all necessary changes in the power and vibration of the medium in which we live have been completed. In real terms, it is impossible to maintain opposition without the situation changing into one that is suitable to all. The need for agreement or opposition is disappearing before our eyes, and the aggressive skills which previously drove our lives are now almost useless. As our awareness grows to match our advanced intelligence, we will see past the formula that has been put in place in our immense societies, and we will simply move in such a way that we cannot be seen by those who are looking to control our lives. Where there is no agreement or opposition, there is no return signal to feed the mechanisms of control and fear that are in place in the world. Each person is in control of their own world, and the changes in the physical world will greatly assist in maintaining this, even under adverse conditions. That is so clear and tells us exactly what is happening and what can happen. Now, back to that Swisindo and the payment 1 through 11. The individual debt burden liberation, that was the second certificate that I showed you. You will get a total maximum of 2 billion rupiah. Now, rupiah is not worth very much right now, but I have heard that it's supposed to be on par with the US dollar at some time in the future. So I'll hold to that. And then there's corporate debt burden liberation to the tune of $2 billion each. All those corporations that have been ripping us off, they'll be taken care of and they'll leave us alone, right? And then there's a country quota, 138,990,000,000,000 each. So the countries will be supported. There's an awful lot of money. It's not money, it's gold in Indonesia that the CIA have been trying to get their hands on for years. And they've caused wars and they've caused a lot of trouble. But the gold has been protected, it's still there, and that is what they don't want Honorable Bapak to get his hands on and set free every person on this planet. And he's going to, because we're going to hold it and know that it's going to happen because the flow is happening. And believe it or not, they're going to bail out the banks. And they get 138,990,000,000,000. So they'll be happy and they'll stop ripping off their customers. And they'll run it like a real bank, not like the Rothschilds. And to the end of that, which is very exciting, is the Venus Project for the construction of the universe. And Mr. Jacques Fresco is the mastermind of this magnificent project, which represents the culmination of his life's work, the integration of the best of science and technology within a comprehensive plan for a global society based on human and environmental concern. And it will soon be ours to enjoy. So this is collectively known as the highest good for all. And we're saying, look ahead and listen to the future as you live a life of magic and miracles in a totally random field on the earth and its celestial partners. The dance and the music will take you away from the troubled world and hold you there forever. Yes, this is the beginning of the new world. And it has been developing by all humanity over many thousands of years. And it now appears as if by magic, out of absolutely nowhere, to begin its life of reality in every part of the universe. You have stepped into the new flow, and there is a totally new perspective of life itself waiting to welcome you to the next reality of the application of magic and miracles in the physical world. The power of each and every human entity will increase enormously in a very short period of time, and the presence of advanced intelligence will be met by this power to enable the world to rise above all negativity and develop a harmony that has never been known before. Remember, no rules, no methods, and everything works every time. All this and much more will be your companion as you step forward and open more and more channels into the unknown. And I say this every week, and I love saying it. Things are not getting worse, they are getting uncovered. We must hold each other tight and continue to pull back the veil and see each other as we really are. Now, at this point, I've been reading chapters of Robert's book, There Is Another Way. So I read chapter 1 and chapter 2, and I had chapter 3 all ready to go. And then I read this and I said, oh, I got to do this one. So if there's time, I'll do chapter 3 of There's Another Way. But here is something that Robert wrote I have never seen before. And he got it from a hard drive that we brought with us 6 years ago from Australia. And it's called Here You Are. And it is so appropriate and so wonderful and such a great gift. So here it is. Here you are. The security of knowing beyond a doubt that you are more than all the images of your individual self is something that cannot be described. It is, however, something that every person aspires to at some time in their life and will continue to seek without knowing that it is lost in the whirlpool of everyday activities. We are all part of the entity of humanity and are supported by that entity. As it grows, then we grow, and it has nothing to do with society, government, or position. The gifts of all aspects of birth, life, and death are distributed through the entity, and its power comes to each person without reference to any other influence in the world. More than ever, it is obvious that children come in with knowledge and skills that are well beyond our expectation. This is a demonstration of the power of humanity and its influence in areas that cannot be controlled by society. We are all more than our individual assessment and have more available from humanity than will ever be listed in the archives of the world. It is therefore time to step back and allow yourself to be lifted by the power of humanity to where you are on top of the wave of social activity and beyond the influence of verbal manipulation. This is available to everyone, and it is clearly stated as an elevated platform of living that supports all your needs and provides the miracles and excitement of the entity we call humanity. How this is done is not important because it is done from another level and is beyond the access of human intelligence. There is an unforgettable essence of mystery that spirit provides each time this happens, and the frustration that comes from attempting to repeat the sequences and impress the world is known by many. The value of humanity is known by everyone, but considered by few. And as a result, the key to perfection is lost in the logic of how to control what is provided and how to sell it on the open market. The simplicity of this explanation is sometimes destroyed by the complex nature of analysis that forms part of our social programming. But as we continue, there will be an understanding that will open the way to many new possibilities. It is possible to harness the power of humanity, even though it is a phenomenon that is mostly outside of our field of influence. Now, this may seem distant, but it really exists. And any realization that is not lost in verbal recoil will bring excitement and knowing that cannot be denied. If you look further into the detail, you will see that the open nature of humanity as a whole will not allow control by any person, and the true magic of life will never be made available as the response to any demand or desire. With this in mind, it is now possible to look past the problems of the individual and look at the overall advantages available to individuals as unique members of the species called humanity. As humans, we all know that it is possible to rise above anything and bring a positive result in the middle of disaster. In life and in death, we can all make a difference in our own way, and nothing is written to describe the path of any of us. There are more attributes attributed to humanity every day, and the fact that communication extends beyond the limits of science shows that the entity of humanity is much more than a group of human beings. To access the power and intelligence of the entity of humanity as a whole, it is necessary to take on the role of a human entity rather than the role of a socially programmed human being. The human entity is not programmed by anything, but the overall structure of the entity of humanity, and it responds in a totally different way to the socially programmed human being. Every human entity exists everywhere and is truly known as universal being. To a fully programmed human being, it is often known as the universal self that seems to be far out of reach in the physical world. In taking on the role of a human entity, you invite yourself into the higher realms in an attempt to achieve more with your life. This often takes the form of some devout action to separate you from the degradation of everyday life. For a short time, it feels correct, but before long, you find that you have simply renamed your life, and underneath it all, nothing has changed. The human entity exists everywhere, and it is not restricted to the higher realms. Moving your focus does not take you into a better place. It makes you think you are in a better place. The human entity accepts everything and has no judgment about any part of the physical experience. The complete and uncluttered interconnection to the overall entity of humanity provides all the guidance required for all aspects of human existence. The miracle of recovery under circumstances that seem to be impossible comes directly from the entity and its plan for the cycle of the life concerned. It is not by chance that each person is where they are at the present time, doing what they are doing. There is an unknown force controlling their destiny and placing circumstances in their field to bring about movement and change that is beyond their realization. This is the work of the entity of humanity that is received by each human entity and delivered to the physical world for execution. The power of the entity of humanity is enormous, and the acceptance of each human entity will provide access to this power. There is no need for control and no need for knowledge. The perfection of the human experience can only be disturbed by knowledge, criticism, and control, none of which are available to the human entity. Remain as a human entity, and you will see the dissipation of social programming, even when circumstances seem to be undesirable. This sounds like a task, but it is only a sense of realization that allows spirit to take over and deliver what is needed in your life. What always amazes me here at the Advancement Center is how Genya, David, and I, with our 3 broadcasts a week, are in such total agreement. And I've always said, total agreement is limitless. So on Friday, you heard something, and I said, oh my gosh, look and listen to this. It's called The Human Entity by David Best. Humanity is merging into one. You can feel the power growing. It's more powerful than the sun. Feel it growing. Feel you knowing the truth of this light, standing with you, right behind you, all day and all night. All wisdom and power available to you, your individual gifts there for others to use. You have access to it all because you are a part. The human entity, so magnificent, is now ready to start, to change the world right down to the core. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. When I look at each person, I see the light in their face, glowing with the power of 7 billion, a new human race. The newness is overtaking them, one smile at a time. The curtains are opening like the sun. Each one will shine. Each one a drum leader with the marching band standing behind. The force is unstoppable. The power of one mind. The sound is magnificent, each playing their own unique song, blended as one. We can't go wrong. Yes, humanity is merging into one. You can feel the power growing, more powerful than the sun. Thank you, David. Yeah. I've had so many people saying thank you for the self-healing portion of the program. And for those who haven't heard this, back in 2011, Robert gave an all-day self-healing workshop. The place was packed. People were sitting on the stairs, up on the balcony, everywhere. And all we had were 2 CDs. So we gave the CDs to Dragon, who transcribes in just like a dragon would. And I've been having the joy of transcribing from Dragon and making it into English. So here is track 4, pardon me, and I hope you enjoy it. So this is Robert speaking. And of course, the joy of all of this is having Robert speaking as I'm typing. And that's been another joy. So this is Robert speaking, saying, we had a bit of a break and it was necessary. Good to interact and to let everyone settle, talk about sorts of things and what you can feel as soon as we get back together. You can feel that strength in your heart again, and that's important. The instant you sit with a purpose, you'll feel your heart. This is going to be quite new to you because for some people, it will seem like there's something wrong. And there isn't anything wrong. You just feel that pressure in your chest because of the intention that is taking you straight back to that infinite trust, and it will never let you forget. This is important to note, that it will never let you forget. Every time you sit with a purpose, you'll feel your heart. So all we've been doing is running through all the things that you are projecting to me, because I mentioned it a few times before, but I can't do anything unless I'm requested. I am a visitor, very much so. A visitor to the extent that I won't do anything unless I am asked. And asking is not the normal procedure with a verbal request. It's a feeling that I get and a knowing that I get from each person in their connection to their creator. So it is not a direct request to me. It's a universal call for what I represent. So many of the things that you experience are not just because you're ready, but you've come here and said, okay, give me this, 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 and this, and I don't care how I get it. So we have achieved a lot in going to what addresses everything, and that's that infinite trust. So what we can do now is start to deviate a little bit so you can feel what it's like when you go out in and amongst your everyday activities. And I like to do this regularly so that people can find out what the disruption can be, and they never lose it. They never lose their ability to see. So if I immediately just go and say, boy, those planes flying over here and dumping all that stuff on us is rubbish, isn't it? And we really don't have any money in this place, and they're all going down the drain. The government's terrible. It starts to become a joke. The bigger that influence is, the more you laugh at it, because you don't see it from the same place anymore. My neighbor is totally hopeless and keeps parking in my driveway, and my wife keeps taking the coffee. And I remember there were gales of laughter. So, with that disturbance, your heart flutters and it makes you laugh. It really does. Even if you walk outside and you can't move your car, you'll fly up in the air and then you'll start laughing at yourself, because it is a totally different thing and it doesn't mean anything anymore. And you get a bill that you can't pay, you'll go straight down and then you'll go, what am I worried about? That's their problem. More laughter. Hit a chord. And you'll just see it differently. Everything comes in at a different angle now that you know who you are, and it's not who you are, It's how you are. The other thing is the energies that can disturb you. And they disturb you normally. If I really push down on the energies, you don't get flat anymore. No one can flatten your energy, and they lift it and you say, that's better. But you didn't get flat. You felt the energy come down, but you didn't move. So you'll detect what's around you, but you won't be subject to it. How you are has no description, because as soon as you talk about infinite trust, it disappears. And if you call it who you are and you come to infinite trust, it disappears. So when you talk about how you are, it's best to link it to say, I am infinite trust. And the how doesn't disappear, providing you link it such that what doesn't mean anything, or the how doesn't mean anything, or the who doesn't mean anything, it will never go away. But you can talk and talk and talk and reprogram yourself every second so you feel that you're not there. And as soon as you stop, you're there. It's a total knowing. And you are triggered by those two words: infinite trust. You are infinite trust. Do you remember? You're it? When you got tapped in a children's game that you played? I like to think that it is infinite trust. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. Now, I know I haven't been talking about Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah. And I came to the same realization last night. So I went to youngsite.com and looked up Christmas message. And what came up was even more of a gift. And I got very excited. And I'm excited to share what Simeon has said. Now, he said this a long time ago, but I have a feeling that the time is right now. A special gift for all humanity. Good evening. This is Simeon coming to you from the outer reaches of the universe, bringing you energies to support your day and to take you further into the world of your Creator. As we sit in amongst the worlds that service all of you, we can feel an acceleration in everybody's movement towards something that is very special for your world. The changes that are about to happen will be enormous. Many of the things that have never been revealed before will become common knowledge. Each one of you know much about the universe and everything in it. And you also know an enormous amount about all the unseen features of your world. But now the unseen will become seen, and you will know of all our presence, and you will know that much of the unseen is a technological phenomenon that has been imposed to make sure we are not visible for defensive reasons. We are now at a point where we can honestly say that we don't need to defend ourselves or defend you. And so we will gradually remove the things that hide us from you, and it will cause some of the authorities some concern, but it is inevitable. And it has been agreed through the universe and beyond that now is the time for everyone to relax in the knowing that you are being assisted from your physical brothers and sisters of all other planets. It has taken some time, and many of you have come from our ranks. Many of you understand that you come from our ranks, and many of you still communicate with us very clearly. It is time for us to take a load off those who have had to hold that information so dear in their heart, and to make them more accepted in the world that you call the physical world. In fact, what you have called the physical world is only the visual world. And it is only part of the visual world that you have been allowed to see. Much of the world extends well beyond your planet, well beyond the surface of the earth, and well beyond where you can see with all your technology. Our intervention into the technological fields that have distorted many of the people on your world continues, and we are now revealing to those who can accept what we have to reveal the genuine technologies and beyond technology that are available to the everyday person on your earth. To authorities who believe they own the world, we say, you don't. To rulers who rule with an iron fist, we say, you're finished. To aggression, we don't say anything. We cancel it. We have the capability to do it in an instant. The reason we haven't done anything before is because the numbers of people who were not able to accept advanced technologies were too high, and now the majority of people are able to accept advanced technologies that make no sense, that do the impossible, and that bring mystery back into your life. So as you expect something, it is available. As you reveal something, you have created it. And as a need develops, it is fulfilled before it affects your being. This is your world now. And many have been walking around with a big smile on their face because they know this is coming. Let me tell you that it is coming from us, as it has for many, many centuries. We have come into your world because that is our project, and that is what you requested. And now you are requesting that all secrets disappear. We can do that in a moment. We can reveal everything about everyone in a second. The technology that we have produced that is beyond your earthly technology will safeguard everyone, no matter how powerful the threat may be. We will come into your world and allow you to reveal your connection to us. We will allow you to take up your positions and to have the authority that you had in the fleet. We will bring all this to life before the end of the year. And we will make sure that the coming year is gentle on everyone. This is not an announcement, it's a fact. It is already in your world. All the technology, all the equipment, all the transfer chambers are already on your earth, and many things are within your reach as you walk around every day. The detail is not necessary, but we will provide the detail as you need it, so that the so-called authorities have no authority, so that the gentleness of the universe can be felt in your life, no matter what facilities may be available to try and disturb it. The gentleness of the universe is such that it is more powerful. It is the most powerful thing of all times. Sorry. And the way that gentleness connects to everything that we are delivering is with a smile and a certainty that you've always known. You call it a heartfelt desire. You call it love. You call it sincerity. All the special things that you know you have that are not recognized. All these things, as soon as you switch them on again, will be amplified, and they will ring through the ears of every person who cannot hear. If you want to reach those who are attempting to control your world, all you have to do is switch on your own capabilities. You will never know the massive effect that it will have on them, but we can assure you, you will switch on all the facilities we've brought to your world, and you will drive them all back to where they came from. I won't comment on where people came from, but you all know there are those on this earth who shouldn't be here, and they have to return or be reprogrammed. We are now not in serious mode. We've been in serious mode for hundreds of years. We are now in the final steps of joining you all in the promised coagulation of everybody's desire. And we are now revealing that we are ready and capable, and we've put all that power back into your hands that you gave away by coming to the earth plane. All the power that you'd forgotten will be revealed, either by you or us or some event, and you will know your special power, and it's nothing to do with anything you thought about before. It's all to do with the things you have forgotten. There is a reason why you forgot, and you'll search to find out what you forgot. But you don't have to, because it will switch on as soon as we say, it's time. You will feel the signal, you will feel your power, and you will feel the effect you are having in every part of this world and others. In speaking of all these things, we encourage all of you to start speaking about not how you feel or what is your opinion, but about what you know. You must know about the very thing you've always wondered. Should I speak about it? About the silent discussion you have with yourself, wondering when you'll ever be able to say that to anyone else? We encourage you to speak with clarity and authority, because those who can speak do have the authority, not just to speak, but to determine what will happen in the world. If you feel a doubt, simply stop, change direction, and watch yourself do it anyway. It will happen automatically. You don't have to push yourself. We are encouraging and not demanding. Every second, we are alongside everyone. And if there is a time when someone from the invisible fields that you know about needs to be with you, they will. And if they need to appear, they will. And if you need to disappear, you will. This is the mystery of life. This is how we all interact. And this is how we all get to experience the golden age that your masters have always spoken about. So let me congratulate everyone on this special occasion and declare nothing but celebration, because it needs to be indelibly marked in every part of everyone's being. There is no advice and there are no directions. There is only goodwill and perfection. And the masters and directors of every universal and galactic controlling body join with me on this occasion to record their total support and their respect for each and every one of you. It is with great honor that I am allowed to speak on their behalf. And the Council of Galaxies has given every one of you authority to use every galactic facility available through their control. Let me say, that is beyond anything that has ever been done before. And let me say that your authority will be recognized throughout the ages. Thank you for listening. Love one another as you have never loved before. I am Simeon, and we join with Simeon, Robert, David, Genya, and I wish you the most happy holiday. And we also wish you perfect life, perfect health, and a very magical future. Thank you.